Hello, everyone. It's been quite a while since I've seen you all. I think 2 weeks. I didn't see you guys during Christmas, but I did see you all during Hanukkah. And speaking of Christmas and Hanukkah, today we're going to be covering our third holiday in a row, Kwanzaa. I hope that during these winter holidays, you all have been staying warm and safe since I went outside today, and I even got a new nice winter coat. And I did not like being out there. Maybe you all like the cold, but I don't really. I'd rather stay inside and drink hot chocolate or have my heater on. I have my heater on right now. It's on full blast. Anyways, back to Kwanzaa, the holiday and our theme for the week. Here we go. We got Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is celebrated by where Christian people celebrate Christmas, and Jewish people celebrate Hanukkah. Black or African American people celebrate Kwanzaa. Now, that doesn't mean that all African American or Black people celebrate Kwanzaa, and a lot of people who celebrate Kwanzaa also celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or other holidays like Eid or Ramadan. But this is a holiday that's mostly celebrated by Black or African American people. So we're going to come back here. The first book I'm going to read to you is called The 7 Days of Kwanzaa, which might remind you of some books that we read 2 weeks ago about Hanukkah and the 8 nights of Hanukkah. This is the 7 days of Kwanzaa. First day, December 26th. Principle, Umoja, unity. And the symbol is mazal, a straw basket of fruit. Yeah. Call your father, call your mother, call your sister, call your brother. It's Kwanzaa time, family time. It's Kwanzaa time, family time. African American people pulling together Harambee, trying to make things better. 7 days and 7 nights. 7 candles we will light. 7 candles we will light. And that's a song, but I'm sure that you've all probably heard enough of my singing voice. So that also brings us to our first vocab word, which is umoja or umoja. Umoja. Yep. So umoja is the first night of Hanukkah, and it means unity, which means together. So umoja is together, and we will continue on to our second night of Hanukkah. Nope, there we go. Or second day, sorry. Second day of Kwanzaa. Hanukkah has passed. Second day, December 27th, second day of Kwanzaa. Principle, kuji chagu liya, which means self-determination. And the symbol is a makeka, or a straw little mat, straw like horses eat, or I guess horses eat hay. You know what I mean? Like the straw, like they spin it into gold and they're still skinned. Relatives come to visit. The cousins say, Harambe, we make makeka mats. It's fun working together. It's Kwanzaa time, family time. It's Kwanzaa time, family time. Family time is maybe something your parents have set aside for whoever you live with, whoever's your family. Maybe they say family time, so we can't watch movies, watch TV while we eat, or maybe family time is watching a movie together, or all sorts of different things. So that brings us to our second vocab word, which is kujichagulia, which means self-determination, which means the ability to do and make decisions for yourself, or to make decisions together as a community. So the picture I have here is a heart, as you can see, and this is the flag of a country called Angola, that gets to make its own decisions as a country. It doesn't have to check everything by a different country, which is how it used to be for Angola. All right, we're coming back here, and we're on the third day of Kwanzaa. My words are all mixed up. December 28th, third day of Kwanzaa. Principle, Ujima, which means working together. And the symbol is Kimara, a wooden candle holder, which is where you see the candles held here. We sweep the yard, we paint the gate, everything looks better. We are pulling together, we are pulling together, we are pulling together. Oh yes, we are. You see, they look like they're all doing their part. Now, Ujima can also mean, here we go. It can also mean responsibility in doing your part, right? So you can see here, someone here, they're putting away their clothes, they're making their bed, this person's vacuuming. Those two, it looks like they're putting away their toys. I think that's what's happening. And these are all things that they do because it's their responsibility. And responsibility, or Ujima, is things that you have to do for other people and for everything to work okay. All right. Now we're going on to the fourth day of Kwanzaa. I gotta write that time. December 29th, fourth day of Kwanzaa. Principle, Ujamaa, sharing profit. Symbol, Muhindi, ears of corn. Ears of corn are just the little corn cobs. I don't know why they, I forget why they call them ears. We go to Malcolm's market. Malcolm asks, Habari gani? What's the news? We say, Ujamaa, which is the day, right? You can see them on here. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potatoes sweet, 4 potato, 5 potato, 6 potato, eat. All right, and that is, again, our word for another word for today. It's sharing profit, or Ujamaa, which means that when one person does well and gets good stuff, that they share it with everyone, and that so everyone works together so that everyone can do better and not just being selfish and keeping everything that you have. All right. So that again is Ujamaa, or profit, sharing profit. The fifth day, December 30th, fifth day of Kwanzaa. Principle, Nia, purpose. Symbol, Zawadi, handmade gift or book. Handmade gift, that's a little hat that I think someone made. I wonder if any of you have made handmade gifts for someone. My sister makes a lot of handmade gifts for my mom and my dad because she's very good at painting and crafting things, but I normally just go and buy something from my parents because I'm not very good at building or drawing or anything like that. Here's how we light the candles. First the black, next a red, then a green, then another red, and then another green. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I missed. That was not that was not my best singing there, but maybe I'll have another chance since it looks like someone over here is playing an instrument. I think that's a drum, right? All right. Oh, I don't want to have us forget to do our vocab word though for that page. Here we go. Okay. The one here is for, oh, where are we? One sec. The day was Mia. And it's for building community together with purpose, right? So everyone here works together to build, you can see their town or village. And now we have the sixth day. The sixth day is Kuumba, which means creativity. The symbol is a kikombe cha umoja. Everyone plays I've Got the Spirit. Grandma beats a drum. Papa claps. Everyone dances to the rhythm. Leader. I've got the spirit. Hey, hey. I've got the spirit. Ashe, ashe. I've got the spirit. Hey, hey. I've got kuumba, kuumba. Ashe, ashe. We sing and dance until we are all tired out. And that's going to be our vocab word, creativity or kuumba. And you can see creativity is like when you make stuff. So you can see that this person's thinking of all of these different things. Like there's thinking about making music, like they did there, thinking about taking pictures or painting, or using scissors, or coming up with math stuff to do, all sorts of things. All right, and now our seventh and final day, January 1st, seventh day of Kwanzaa, Principal Imani, symbol Mishuma Saba, the 7 candles, which we saw on the cover. We light all 7 candles. Grandpa tells a story of how our people came from Africa long ago. He says, may we all live by the Ngozo Saba, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Keep the faith. That's the thing to do. Believe in yourself and your family too. Keep Imani in your heart. Keep Imani in your soul. Imani is more precious than diamonds or gold. So Imani is our next, and I think the final vocab word, Imani, which means faith, which means believing in something or someone. So they are believing in their family and their traditions, so the things that they do every year or when certain things happen. And that's something that everyone can have in certain things. You might have faith in people being good, or you might have faith in the tooth fairy giving you money for your teeth when you lose them and then get new ones. There's all sorts of kinds. So that was our first book, and now we're only going to be reading 2 books about Kwanzaa, because and this next one is called 7 Spools of Thread, a Kwanzaa story. So, let's start. In a small African village in the country of Ghana, there lived an old man and his 7 sons. After the death of his wife, the old man became both father and mother to the boys. The 7 brothers were handsome young men. Their skin was as smooth and dark as the finest mahogany wood. Their limbs were as straight and strong as warriors' spears. But they were a disappointment to their father. From morning until night, the family's small home was filled with the sound of the brothers quarreling or their fighting. So they're just being raised by their dad, but they're fighting all of the time. I fight with my little sister sometimes. I wonder, for you, those of you who have brothers or sisters or siblings, do you fight with them a lot? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You can see this little kid does not look, this guy does not look like he's being very nice. As soon as the sun brought forth a new day, the brothers began to argue. They argued all morning about how to tend the crops. They argued all afternoon about the weather. "It is hot," said the middle son. "No, a cool breeze is blowing," said the second son. They argued all evening about when to return home. "It will be dark soon," the youngest said. "Let's finish this row and begin anew tomorrow." "No, it's too early to stop." "Can't you see the sun is setting?" shouted the sixth son. Oh my gosh, none of them are listening to each other and they're all fighting. And so it would continue until the moon beamed down, and the stars twinkled in the sky. At mealtime, the young men argued until the stew was cold and the fufu, which is a food, was hard. "You gave him more than you gave me," whined the third son. "I divided the food equally," said their father. "I will starve with only this small portion on my plate," complained the youngest. "If you don't want it, I'll eat it," said the oldest son. He grabbed a handful of meat from his brother's plate. "Stop being so greedy," said the youngest. And so it went on every night. It was often morning before the brothers finished dinner. One sad day, the old man died and was buried. At sunrise the next morning, the village chief called the brothers before him. "Your father has left an inheritance," said the chief. The brothers whispered excitedly among themselves. "I know my father left me everything because I am the oldest son," said the oldest. "I know my father left me everything because I am the youngest son," said the youngest. "He left everything to me," said the middle son. "I know I was his favorite." "Eee!" said the second son. "Everything is mine." The brothers began shouting and shoving. Soon all 7 were rolling around on the ground, hitting and kicking each other. "Stop that this instant," the chief shouted. The brothers stopped fighting. They shook the dust off their clothes and sat before the chief, eyeing each other suspiciously. So their dad is going to leave him some stuff, and they're all arguing, right, on who gets to keep all of it. Do you think one of them is going to keep all of it? Or do you think they might have to share? Yeah, I think they might have to share. "Your father has decreed that all of his property and possessions will be divided among you equally," said the chief. "But first, by the time the moon rises tonight, you must learn how to make gold out of these spools of silk thread. If you do not, you'll be turned out of your home as beggars." The oldest brother received blue thread, the next brother red, the next yellow, the middle son was given orange thread, the next green, the next black, and the youngest son received white thread. For once, all the brothers were speechless. The chief spoke again. "From this moment forward, you must not argue among yourselves or raise your hands in anger towards one another. If you do, Your father's property and all his possessions will be divided equally among the poorest of the villagers. Go quickly, you only have a little time. The brothers bowed to the chief and hurried away. How do you think they're going to do it? I remember as we talked a little bit earlier, with straw, how Rumpelstiltskin spun the straw. Maybe do you think maybe they'll spin the thread into gold? Let's see. When the 7 Ashanti brothers arrived at their farm, something unusual happened. They sat side by side from the oldest to the youngest without saying anything unkind to each other. My brothers, the oldest said after a while, let us shake hands and make peace among ourselves. Let us never again argue or fight again, said the youngest brother. The brothers placed their hands together and held each other tightly. For the first time in years, peace rested within the walls of their home. My brothers, the third son said quietly, surely our father would not turn us into the world as beggars. I agree, said the middle son. I do not believe that our father would have given us a task of turning thread into gold if it were impossible. Could it be, said the oldest son, that there might be small pieces of gold in this thread? The sun beamed hotly overhead. Yellow streams of light crept inside the hut. Each brother held up his spool of thread. The beautiful colors sparkled in the sunlight, but there were no nuggets of gold in these spools. I'm afraid not, my brother, said the sixth son, but that was a good idea. Thank you, my brother, said the oldest. So as you can see, they're starting to get along. They're even complimenting each other and saying nice things, which means, saying nice things about each other, to each other. Could it be, said the youngest, that by making something from this thread, we could earn a fortune in gold? Perhaps, said the oldest, we could make cloth out of this thread and sell it. I believe we can do it. This is a good plan, said the middle son, but we do not have enough of any one color to make a full bolt of cloth. What if, said the third son, we weave the thread together to make a cloth of many colors? But our people do not wear cloth like that, said the fifth son. We only wear cloth of one color. Maybe, said the second, we could make a cloth that is so special, everyone will want to wear it. My brothers, said the sixth son, we could finish faster if we all worked together. The 7 Ashanti brothers went to work. Together they cut wood to make a loom, which is a thing for you to, like an old kind of sewing machine. The younger brothers held the pieces together while the older brothers assembled the loom. They took turns weaving cloth out of their spools of thread. They made a pattern of stripes and shapes that looked like the wings of birds. They used all the colors, blue, red, yellow, orange, green, black, and white. Soon the brothers had several pieces of beautiful multicolored cloth. Yeah, oh, looks very pretty, all these different colors. When the cloth was finished, the 7 brothers took turns neatly folding brightly colored fabric. Then they placed it into 7 baskets and put the baskets on their heads. You ever carry things like that? Sometimes I do. The brothers formed a line from the oldest to the youngest brother, and the journey began to the village. The sun slowly made a golden path across the sky. The brothers hurried down the long, dusty road as quickly as they could. As soon as they entered the marketplace, the 7 Ashanti brothers called out, "Come and buy the most wonderful cloth in the world! Come and buy the most wonderful cloth in the world!" They unfolded a bolt and held it up high for all those to see. The multicolored fabric glistened like a rainbow. A crowd gathered around the 7 Ashanti brothers. Oh, you can see. So pretty up there. It's moving everywhere. Oh, said one villager, I have never seen a cloth so beautiful. Look at that unusual pattern. Ah, said another, this is the finest fabric in all the land. Feel the texture. I bet you it's pretty soft or something. The brothers smiled proudly. Suddenly, a man dressed in magnificent robes pushed his way to the front of the crowd. Everyone stepped back respectfully. It was the king's treasurer. That's the king's guy who has all the money. He rubbed the cloth between the palms of his hands. Then he held it to the sunlight. What a thing of beauty, he said, fingering the material. This cloth will make a wonderful gift for the king. I must have all of it. The 7 brothers whispered together. Cloth fit for a king, said the oldest, should be purchased at a price only a king can pay. It is yours for 1 bag of gold. Sold, said the king's treasurer. He untied his bag of gold and spilled out many pieces for the brothers. So they did turn it all into gold with thread. The 7 Ashanti brothers ran out of the market and place and back down the road to the village. A shining silver moon began to creep up in the sky. Painting and dripping with sweat, the brothers threw themselves before the chief's hut. Oh, chief, said the oldest, we have turned the thread into gold. The chief came out of his hut and sat upon a stool. The oldest brother poured the gold onto the ground. Have you argued or fought today? Asked the chief. No, my chief, we have been too busy working together to argue or fight, said the youngest brother. Then you have learned the lesson your father sought to teach you, said the chief. All that he had now is yours. The older brother smiled happily. The youngest son looked sad. What about the poor people in the village? He asked. We received an inheritance, but what will they get? Perhaps, the oldest said, we can teach them to turn this thread into gold. The chief smiled. You've learned your lesson very well. The 7 Ashanti brothers taught their people carefully. The village became famous for its beautiful, multicolored cloth, and the village prospered. If you remember earlier, we talked about teamwork and profiting together. So the Ashanti brothers were doing well, so they helped their community and the people who are poorer by teaching them how to make that kind of cloth. From that day until this, the 7 Ashanti brothers have worked together farming the land, and they have worked peacefully in honor of their father. Well, that's it for books I have. I think we're going to move on to the activity now. I'll go get supplies and then I'll be right back. Bye. Hi, everyone. Sorry, it changed. It's been a little bit. So I printed out a couple of the coloring sheets. You should have a link. You can color it either with me using online with paper if you want to print it out, or you can color it online using paint or something like we did last time. So first one, I'm going to color with you. It says Happy Kwanzaa, and here we have, this is Africa, which is a continent, has a whole bunch of smaller countries in it. It's a huge place. These are the candles, as you remember. There's the corn and some fruit, and I think that might be a squash. Anyways, so let's get to coloring. The first thing is that, if I remember right, the first 3 candles are red. And 3, like this. And then I think the middle one is black, and then the last 3 are green. And then finish off with green. Okay, there we go. And then I think we're going to make the little candle holder, the thing down there. I think we're going to go with brown and maybe yellow. I'll try it out. I'm going to try the middle to do a pattern. I think we can also color the corn yellow, I think. I think that's another safe thing to color yellow. I don't know what else we color it. I've heard that of purple corn. I'm in South Dakota right now, which has a whole building. It's called, made out of corn. It's called the Corn Palace. All different colors of corn to make kind of a castle looking thing. Oh, I chose purple instead of brown, I think, by accident. Oh well. I guess I was deciding between. These kind of look like brown because it's a little dark here. All right, you can color this corn yellow. And then we can do the grapes either purple or green. I'm going to go with purple. You could also do red, I guess. There's some kind of red looking grapes. Or any color you want, I guess. Just blue grapes. Oof. I have those. I've had them. They're pretty good. Then we should probably do a little thing here. And then maybe like something like green and brown for the stem, or for the kind of stem part of the of a corn. It's another word for it, and I can't think of what it's called right now. I guess, you know, I'm going a little crazy during the winter, being inside all the time. And with pandemic. So that's how I have so far. Let's do, you know what? You choose what we do the little fire on the candles. Sometimes I think like yellow looks better, but other times I think like orange looks better. I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, when people ask you to draw, when you draw the sun, and they say you color it yellow, you know, and like if you look at the sun, which never look at the sun, but it doesn't really look yellow. The sunlight doesn't really look yellow. It just looks really bright. So I don't know. Sometimes I feel that way when I'm drawing fire too, because I'm like, well, it's kind of yellow. There's orange too, and like at the little bit of it, it's blue. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to like outline mine in orange, draw like a little orange thing around it, but put the inside yellow. And you could put a little blue at the bottom too. I think I'm making look at this. This is mine so far. Right, now let's color Africa. We remember that the 3 colors that we saw a lot were green, green, red, and black. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do, or what I'll do. You can color Africa a different color if you want to. I wonder what these kind of lines are. They look kind of nice. It's a lot of different things and different people in Africa. It's a very big place. It's called a continent because it has a lot of different countries on it. It's that big. Egypt's inside of Africa. Is one of the countries in Africa, and we read about Ghana, which is another one in Africa. Nigeria, we read about that a few weeks ago, about Nigeria a few weeks ago. We talked about West Africa, which is going to be on the left part of Africa, the part with the little bump. And then you also have Ethiopia. You have the Sahara Desert, which is this huge desert. You have jungles like in Congo, and maybe dinosaurs. Some people think that there's still a dinosaur alive, one kind of dinosaur alive somewhere in Africa, but you don't really know. No one's found it yet. Some people have said that they saw it, but no one said that they found any dinosaur yet. It's a small one with a long neck. I always have a hard time coloring in between the lines. Do you have a problem with? Is that ever hard for you? Or are you really good at it? I'm not very good at it. I think my hand just isn't delicate enough. I was really bad at it for a while, but I had to get better at it. I'm still not very good at it, but I'm a lot better than I used to be. Oh. So this is what I have so far. Huh? Like it? Okay. The next thing I think we'll do is I'll color I think I'll do orange for I'm not sure what kind of vegetable that is next to the corn and the grapes, but I think I'm going to color it orange. Yeah. It might not be orange. You can color it whatever color, and that goes with all of this. I just think orange might look the nicest. And doing some purple. You can color in the letters. Oh, you know what's something maybe you want to try is trying to use all the colors of thread that the seven brothers had. They had white and blue and yellow and red. They had 7 colors, right? I think they had red, orange, yellow, green, blue, black and white. Maybe they didn't. You can go back and check if you want. I'm just coloring in the words now. The letters. And don't worry again too much about coloring every little line and stuff. I think as long as we have fun making this, you know, and we get to use colors that we like. If it doesn't look super neat, tidy at the end, that's okay. All right, this is my happy Kwanzaa. Kind of decided after the K that I didn't want to make them all orange. I want to use some blue. But I think it looks all right. I'm going to do one more with you. Let's do the, this one's called Moza Unity, which, if you remember, is our first night of Kwanzaa, our first day of Kwanzaa. Today is December 31st, so that means we are on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 night of Kwanzaa. So there's one more day of Kwanzaa after today. I'm using a lot of blue for this one. Unity, if we remember, means like together. So these two things are together. And I think I'm going to try to go with like yellow and blue. I didn't get to use that much yellow and blue on the last one, but I'm going to try to use more here. At least for Umoja. And then the bottom one, which is Unity, I might try some different colors. Up here, I'm gonna go with yellow. And there we go. This is what mine looks like so far. I'm going to try some pink lines here. Maybe pink and orange. I think those would look okay together. The cool thing about colors is that you can see all these different kinds of combinations and see which ones you like. Sometimes you don't think two colors will go together, but they end up looking really nice together. So I'm hopeful for this pink and orange. You know, something kind of pink and orange is the sunset. And it looks okay. Oh, forgot to color one of them in, which I'll choose pink. Yep. Okay. And now we have the bottom one to do. So here, I think I'm going to go black, red, and green, like, which are the Kwanzaa colors, kind of like red and green are colors, are Christmas colors, blue and white are Hanukkah colors, black and orange are Halloween colors, and things like that. All right, and we'll do black here, red there, maybe a little green here for the N. Followed by some black. Black and green. I like black and green together. I think black and green go really well together. And red and black look really nice too. I like blue and white too, which are the Hanukkah colors. Do red here. Green in here. And we'll do golden in here. Sometimes it's hard when you have two colors, it's kind of easy trying to make sure that there's around the same amount of each one. But when you have three colors, it can be kind of tricky trying to get them to look more even. I'll do red here, next to red. And then red again, and then black. Okay. Last color again. Oh, that's brown. Is black. This is what mine looks like. We can color a few other things. We can just finish off and write your name. I'm going to color the little things here, the little stripe things. We'll go with purple. I like green and purple. Those are another two colors I think look nice together. I used to have this toy that was green and purple. I think it was a Batman toy. I know that when I think of green and purple now, I think of the Hulk, but I had a Batman toy that was green and purple. All right, here we go. And this is this one. Anyways, happy Kwanzaa. I will see you all next year or next week. Do the same thing. All right, bye everyone.